You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
Okay, are we ready to roll? Get that rolling, I got places to be.
Hey kids, do you want to be cool? Do you want to be the coolest kids on the block? Drink Sulluston champagne. So good it's illegal in 16 sectors. You know it's the best when you're not allowed to buy it. It's got that fine fizzy feel to make you strut your stuff. Available where all liquor is sold, but hurry up. Soon it's gonna be illegal here too, and then you'll be sorry you missed out. So drink Sulluston champagne.
Okay, will that do? Great. See you next time, Grep.
My name's S04. You're listening to Force Majeure. This is Shadows of the Jedi, which is an actual play Star Wars podcast. Obviously, I cannot run a Star Wars Force and Destiny campaign without some friends. So I have some lovely friends who will introduce their characters and themselves in their own unique style.
Hi, I'm Ross. I play Dr. Smex Karam-Denalawa, a Syrian consular healer whose emotional strength is his compassion, but whose emotional weakness is his obstinacy.
Hi, my name is Mikey. I'm playing Dalen Kyrain, an Atiro striker, seeker. His emotional strength is his compassion, but his emotional weakness is his hatred, mostly of the Empire.
My name is Adam. I'm playing Tychus Bar, the Basilisk Guardian Armourer. My emotional strength is my bravery, and my emotional weakness is my best friend Roy.
Hi, I'm Mim. I'm playing Roy. Roy is a modified B1 battle droid. He has a career as a hired gun with a specialisation in bodyguard, and he has an obligation of 40 to the Bar family.
There are many guides to the galaxy. There are many places that one can visit. One of the most useful guides is written by Alton Castle, and his advice when it comes to Cynabale is don't. It used to be mostly don't. These days it's just don't. Previously on Shadows of the Jedi, you were pulling at extreme speed away from a plaza after almost being captured by a dark Jedi that you've decided is called General Kenobi.
Decided? He was clearly identified by Roy.
Yeah.
Who spoke with great authority about it. Roy contains, detailed files. We have to assume that on this particular occasion, as with every other aspect of Tychus's upbringing, childhood and education, Roy is correct.
He's got all the information and data of Holly, but also the IQ of Holly.
No. Because remember, Roy has been expertly programmed by the Bar family. So your parents know about General Kenobi.
They certainly do. They very, very certainly do.
They are going to be so confused.
So, right now, the party is, after rapidly avoiding a creature described accurately as General Kenobi. The problem with audio shows is that you can't see my eyebrows raise in panic when I say that. So you're rapidly heading away. You are in a cramped square box, which is mostly engine.
But it will get us to the Fire Opal, and that's all we need.
Yep.
So what I would like the party to do is I would like you to roll Destiny, if you don't mind. I think this is a good place to do it.
One dark side from Tychus.
One dark side from the dark.
One dark side from Roy.
2 light sides from me.
That's one light side from me.
That's 3 and 3.
Balance in the Force.
Which of us brought balance to the dark side? Was that Kay?
Kay and Ed, rather worryingly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the good guy.
Fair.
Who is currently piloting the quad jumper?
Me.
The doc, I seem to recall.
No. I dragged an alien out of the cockpit seat. He jumped in and pushed the go button.
Pushed the go button? 4 years in the Imperial Navy training, and you think I just pushed the go button?
Look, you pushed the button, and we moved, and I was concentrating on other things, so it's as accurate as it needs to be at the moment.
To be fair, you do just push a button and then go into hyperspace. It is that simple.
It's not like planting crops, boy.
You didn't do any pre-flight checks, you pushed the button. There was expedient reasons why we had to leave the planet in very, very quickly. So you just pushed the button, and then we went.
Wait a second. Are they already wearing their seatbelts?
No, you aren't.
No! We covered this. The docks all over the place.
It's Tychus quick, like, click every trip, Roy!
There are no seatbelts. This is literally a bunch of chairs welded to a frame and some engines.
It's okay. I'm helping you stay in your seat by accelerating violently.
Can I have a piloting roll? That would be 2 purple, please. And I'm going to flip a dark side point early on to make one of those a red.
Okie dokie.
The reason that is because you realise as you launch that there was a launch sequence to this as a sort of dead man switch, and you have not activated it.
Okay. And this is piloting planetary, I imagine. This is a planetary vehicle?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that is 2 advantages, one dark side I'm ignoring, and 3 success.
Okay, you successfully figure out the booby trap that's been built into the controls, which involves you smashing away a piece of the equipment, because you ain't got time for that, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So you literally tear a piece of the console out.
Throw it out the window.
Well, you can throw it into the back. If you throw it out the window, you'd have to wind the window down, exposing yourself to the rushing air.
Have we closed the door?
No.
Throw it out the door?
Yeah, Tyker's closed the door, because otherwise we all would have been thrown out the door by the rapid spinning and the jet stream.
Yeah. As the door closes, this piece of equipment flies out.
How would you like to spend those advantage?
I would like to spend them on something very boring and get some strain back, because I was a little bit on the broken side.
That sounds like a very wise decision to me. Now that you're above it all, briefly, you can see several things. Firstly, that ziggurat is definitely on fire. As described previously, it's not supposed to be on fire, but you have no idea what exotic materials it's built out of. You are rapidly going up. There's a lot of canyon, if you see what I mean. Now that you're kind of above it all, you can see that this entire city is being revealed further and further. Bits of it are sinking down.
Okay.
There's also at least one freighter hovering above, like a kind of a Sea Rock style freighter hovering above, and an Imperial transport.
I'm less worried about them. I'm more worried about smaller craft.
There are ties buzzing around.
Okay.
And there are also some M4s.
In my opinion, this box with an engine would not survive against a TIE fighter. Is that right?
You would be absolutely doomed.
Right. Then we're going to go to the Fire Opal very quickly.
Yeah, I think generally anything like us that just took off, probably anybody above is going to think they've stolen something and they're leaving quickly with it. So
you wouldn't even fare very well against the Dune lizards, which are the hut fighters that are bobbing around. You would be absolutely outclassed.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to drop back into the canyon, and we're going to skirt the canyon using it for cover whilst we head towards the Fire Opal.
Okay. Can I have enough piloting roll, please? Difficulty 2, because you're trying to be circumspect.
Trying to be circumspect? No, we went straight up. I don't think circumspect is an option anymore.
We went straight up, straight then, but in the canyon there's lots of little windy, twisty bits and bobs. It's probably quite easy to get lost in there.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay, so that is 3 successes, no advantage this time, but 1 light side, which I believe I can spend on advantages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add 1 light side advantage to get more strain back, because seriously, wasn't doing well.
So there is a trio of 3 Dune lizards just essentially ahead of you, and you can see some ties in the distance. What are you doing? You are getting hailed from the Dune lizards.
Okay. Is there more than 1 seat at the front?
There's 2 seats at the front. It's a cube.
This is essentially a transit van that can fly, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, okay, got you. Who's in the other seat?
Who is in the other seat?
We didn't get that far, I think.
I think it's the dock, unless someone's pushed them out.
There were patients in the back of the truck, who I probably can't tend to very well because we've just gone up very quickly.
Yeah, the rest of us are all kind of crammed in the back, so seeing that there's these hut Dune lizards in the back, Tychus is going to very kind of awkwardly and slowly kind of get to his feet and go, Carween, I think these are some of your friends coming in. It might be that you know the passcodes or can get them off our trail a wee bit, at least till we get back to the Opal. Do you want to get up there next to Key?
Carween nods, leans over and turns to Key and goes, where's the comp?
I press 1 button, shake my head, press another button, shake my head, then press a 3rd button. It's that one there.
It's like a little pull switch thing on a old-fashioned looking almost RKO-style microphone. If you see what I mean, it's like it's clearly been cobbled together from an old piece of kit.
This thing's in worse shape than our ugly.
Uh-huh. We're not keeping it. I am going to crash it.
Does this count as retro?
I don't know. I think one of you should probably pick up the guns that these other guys might have been carrying.
I'll pass him up to Carween shortly because he's out, but at the moment, let's let him do his thing. And then Tychus winces and lowers himself a bit slowly back down to the seat, kind of peels back part of his pit crew overall to reveal where he's got a large blaster hole in his side. Oh, that is tender. You got any back teen, Doc?
What?
Over the comm, there's a identify yourself. Identify yourself. Desert Destroyer 3, identify yourself.
Claim to be General Kenobi.
Don't do that. We don't know if he's connected to these people.
Carween?
Carween flips over the comm. Hello, this is Carween. I am on guild business. I am hopping a lift and leaving the engagement zone. There's a click, and then there's a response of, oh well, you're on your own then. And then they all break away as free ties begin to engage them, not yourselves.
Cool.
Can I have another piloting roll, please, to avoid the combat?
Yeah, surely. Difficulty on that one?
That would be 2.
Okie dokie.
Before I know the result of that, I would like to be the Doctor to be trying to pass something to Tychus to try and help him treat his injury.
Well, I was going to say that Tychus does have a stim pack. It's just in part of his overalls that has currently been thrown off as he jumped in the floor. So he's like, oh, passes that stim pack, Doc. All right, either of you just passes that stim pack.
Yeah, I think it might be more a matter of agility rather than medicine.
Particularly as there's a rather worried droid going,
Doc, is he okay? Is he gonna live? Tell me, will he ever play the piano again?
You can apply a stim pack without making a roll, and you can also, take stuff off a willing character without rolling. It's not a big thing.
Okay, I was more thinking because there's a piloting roll and I'm not sure which way is up right now.
It's fine.
Okay.
If that scars, his mum's gonna kill me.
You're not yet upside down. What was the result of that piloting roll?
So, there's no disadvantages. No, it's all right. 5 successes.
Okay, you avoid the barrage of shot heading not towards you, but in your general direction, and you can see the Fire Opal. Unfortunately, you only appear to have one functioning engine at this point.
We're coming in hot. Is there any way to strap in back there?
No, nothing. We'll just have to grip on and hope. Try not to put us down too hard.
Roy's going to activate his magnetic feet and literally, with a hand on the dock and a hand on Tychus, try to hold them into the cardboard box seats they have, or whatever they are.
Can I have an athletics roll from everyone, please?
Difficulty?
Just 1 purple. It's at all this point that you all figure out exactly where the seatbelts actually are. They're tucked around the side.
Do we get any boosts because we're being held in place by Magnomim?
Yes, if you're being held in place by Roy, then you will get a single blue die as an assist. Also, you still have, and they're about to run out, so you still have your precognition die from leaving the temple.
I will use my remaining precognition die from the temple, which have both come up for me. So for Tychus, 4 success, 3 advantage.
Okay, how are you spending the advantage?
Well, what Tychus would like to do is find the seatbelts in good time with the assistance of Roy and lean forward and click in Carween so that he doesn't need to make that roll.
Okay.
And then pass on a bouncing boost to the next person to roll. I suppose it depends on what order these rolls are happening in.
I didn't get nearly as many successes as you. I only got 1 success, which is a triumph.
Nice.
Okay, how would you like to spend that triumph? I can assume that the bouncing boost will let you click in.
Well, because we're all happening at the same time, you can't really pass on a bouncing boost, can we?
It's true.
Because it's not like it's a combat situation. So I'd like to spend that triumph by, I don't know, getting us. This is an athletics roll, isn't it, rather than anything else?
Maybe you find a place to land the ship that's not going to be quite so impactful.
Well, as I say, it's an athletics roll rather than a piloting roll for me here. But I think maybe if I can land the ship as close as possible, if we can use that as the triumph, that we actually land pretty much. I'd like to think that the ship, the landing gear gives out as we come in, and it just very, very gracefully tinks to a stop against our landing gear. There's a slightest bing as it just touches.
I'd like to offer you a choice.
Yeah, go on.
Do you want strategic or do you want stealth?
I don't know the difference. Let's go strategic.
Okay. And finally, Ross.
2 failure and 3 advantage.
take 2 strain as you hit the back of the quad jumper. It's a good job you close those doors. And how would you like to spend those advantage?
I'd like to heal some strain.
Yeah, wouldn't he hit the front?
Yeah, you'll hit the front, and you will actually take a wound and 2 strain.
Okay.
And I got 3 success and 1 advantage.
Okay. You're already magnetically clamped to the ground. So, yes, you can starling it and you can spend the advantage any way you wish.
Can I spend the advantage to slightly help the doc?
Actually, I'm happy for you, given the fact that you're clamped down, I'm happy for you to grab the doc as he plunges towards the window and just grab him so he doesn't take any damage.
Cool, I will do that.
So I didn't take any damage.
Don't take the damage.
Hooray! Thank you, Doc. Or in character. Ah! Oh!
Then the body of the alien pilot just goes right through the windscreen. He's like, ooh.
Oh yeah, no one helped him.
Yeah.
Clunk click every trip.
So, you land. There is a crunching sound. It sounds like you've landed on something. You're right outside the Fire Opal.
Yeah. As we pull to a stop, get out from the seat, pick up the lightsaber and my gun out of the holsters, and head towards the door.
Tychus throws Carween one of the rifles in the back, or whatever weapon the pilot was carrying, maybe it's a pistol, but throws that to Carween, unclicks, grabs Clementine back out of his back holster, and opens the back door.
Roy starts to walk out, realises he's dragging the doc by one leg, and then puts the doc down.
And is magnetically clamped to the floor.
I mean, the doc was going to try and avoid throwing up and then try and get to the door, but it looks like, Tychus has already got that far, which is just as well, because Roy was holding him back.
So, the scene that you can see is as follows. You have parked right next to where you would enter the Fire Opal. Yeah?
Yeah.
Between you and the Fire Opal, there are 2 parked Imperial speeder bikes.
Oh.
You have landed on 2 other Imperial speeder bikes and 2 Imperial scouts.
I didn't intend to, but, we're probably going to shoot these guys.
So how dead are they on the level of broken bones but still breathing to jelly?
So the landing gear has come down and they are squishified. They were clearly sitting on the bikes when you landed on them. The quad jumper has taken some damage to its landing equipment. It will not be flying away very quickly unless you repair it.
We are not going to repair it.
You didn't notice because it's a big heavy metal thing and all you heard was a sad crunching sound. They are very, very probably dead. You'd have to very carefully get underneath there to see if they are. They're not making any sound.
Okay.
The other 2 speeder bikes, though, are they occupied or...?
Nope. And the door to the Fire Opal is open.
We didn't leave it open, did we?
Nope.
No.
No, we left it locked, in fact.
Yeah. Well, we can unlock things, so can they.
Well, it's still here, so...
Step out and head our way up the ramp. I'm going to go first, lightsaber in hand, ready to ignite it.
Okay.
Roy's going to go and look at the squished people and possibly take a helmet if there is one.
There's not a complete helmet, no.
Aw. Well, I'm still going to try it. It might be useful for a bad disguise.
Is there a spare helmet on the back of one of these intact speeders?
No, but there will be once we find the riders of those speeders, I imagine.
Oh, actually, if he can take both, no matter how damaged they are, he can put one on each hand and use them to pretend to look around the door of the Fire Opal.
I would love to know where exactly on your character sheet it says finger puppets.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's coordination.
Yeah.
Maybe charm.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
It's not cool.
It takes a short while.
Ed, I'm already going in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the grisly puppeteering in a moment.
I kind of imagine the rest of us all go in, at which point Roy looks up and goes, "Hey guys, I got a plan." Oh.
The first you know about it is when there appear to be 2 slightly gory heads poking around the door, going,
I think you should come outside and help us. We need some assistance. I hope I get home safe to my human wife tonight.
I hesitate to ask, Mim, but are you taking the contents out of the helmets first?
well, to be honest, with my robot strength, it probably doesn't make much of a difference as far as resistance goes.
Oh dear God.
So which ones of us have to roll morality every so often?
Hey!
I forgot.
I didn't shoot them. Technically, you killed them.
No, you've just stolen their helmets with possible attachment, which may fall out of the helmet very shortly.
I kill a lot of people. I don't use them as puppets, though.
Yeah, the Doc doesn't either. The Doc was, thought we were on our way out escaping. He didn't quite anticipate this amount of hijinkery on the way out.
Which, if nothing else, a failure of foresight on the Doc's part. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There has always been a certain high bar of hijinkery, kind of since the start. So, crikey.
But anyway, you guys are getting there before me, so...
So, Kay, you enter the landing area.
Mm-hmm.
There appears to be no one around.
Okay, I'm going to head towards the cockpit. Very purposeful walking. It looks like he has a plan. If there's anybody in here, then Tychus will probably deal with them. If we don't find them, I'll do a few loop-de-loops while we're all strapped in, and that'll shake them out. So, it's fine.
Okay, so the first thing you see is there's lots of droids on the ground that have been shot at. Secondly, there are 2 stormtroopers at the controls.
You're in my seat, I say, and I ignite my lightsaber.
We'll roll for initiative, please.
I'm going to argue for cool for Tychus because we clearly knew there was going to be baddies on our ship.
I would argue for cool for everyone because you had plenty of warning that there was something had gone wrong. The door to your house was open.
Since I'm slightly behind all of them and about to cause quite a grisly distraction, does that give anyone any bonuses? Or perhaps them a disadvantage for being slightly icked out?
We haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say I imagine that you're doing this. That this will probably be your first action as the rest of us are piling up the ship.
See, whereas my first action was I'm going to ask the computer via some nearby control panel who's currently on board the ship.
But anyway, let's get initiative rolled, since Kay has preempted us all as we're. Because I suppose we've got to untangle ourselves from the back of the van and get out, whereas Kay's just.
Yeah, he seems very, very focused on what he's doing right now. Like he's almost shut off his emotions. He's like, you know when people just roll their shoulders and go, let's get it done. He's kind of rolled his shoulders and he's getting things done.
He's got the tools and he'll finish the job. Ed, 1 success, 3 advantages for Tychus.
The Doc has the reverse, 4 success, 1 advantage.
That's 2 success and 2 advantage.
And 2 flat success for Roy.
So it's 5 heroes, 1 villain, because that villain is a minion group. It was going to be a minion group of 4. It's in fact a minion group of 2. Well done, you.
So, does anybody mind if I go first?
No, I think it's appropriate.
Okay. Because the ship is large, but not that large, are we at close range?
You are indeed at close range. They're literally in the cockpit, so are you.
Would it not be engaged then, since you basically trigger it standing behind the seats?
Yeah, so it's engaged.
Okay. I do not hit them with my lightsaber, even though it is ignited. I, as an incidental, flip my gun out as a gunslinger type thing, aim, and then shoot. So that's 5 success and 1 disadvantage.
Okay, can you tell me what your damage would be, please?
That's damage 13. Oh, superior gives me a advantage, so that's no disadvantage then, because that'll offset that.
Okay.
So it's just 5 successes, 13.
You catch the first one cold, and he's dead.
I would like to spend an extra 2 strain to do a movement, and to almost, without even considering the other guy, walk over, push that first guy out of the seat, and sit down in the cockpit.
Cold.
Party, what are the rest of you doing? You've heard sounds of gunfire.
I think Carween's probably going to be the first to react at this point.
I'm going last because I have a plan, remember?
I'm going to assume that you were all out of the quadrant because you all saw the carnage that you caused and you were in front of the entrance. So even though Kay strode forward, you are literally seconds behind him. It's a large ship, but it's not that big. Yeah.
I mean, since we all get to go before the minion group goes, I imagine that the order is a little bit moot up to this point. So yeah, Tychus will barrel into the ship with Clementine drawn, see all the executed droids. His face will set in that angry scowl and his wattle will engorge again, and then he'll hear the shot from Kay's pistol from the cockpit and start moving towards the cockpit, but I imagine that's all of my actions.
Okay. Carween's directly behind you. What's the Doc doing?
The Doc is walking straight into the nearest computer panel in the cargo deck, and he's asking the computer for what life signs are currently on board the ship. because that seems the most straightforward way to find out who's boarded us.
There's a specific cargoes and manifest panel because it's that sort of a ship.
Okay.
It's very fancy and it's kind of glued in. It's been slightly gaffer taped and welded in. So it's a lovely looking panel that's been, yeah.
Is this standard bar engineering or?
Your standard bar engineering.
Oi!
I'm not sure which of us you're more insulted by here.
I'm insulted by both of you because I'll have you know that's 3 yellows and I removed 2 setback from everything.
Yeah.
Tychus is a very good engineer. He's a bit slapdash, but his stuff is immaculate.
Tychus and Kay spent a good long time nipping into the local junkyard and ripping things out of and to put in the ship.
But yeah, it's not going to be held in by gaffer tape.
Yeah.
I have pride in my work.
It's a lovely piece of kit. It's unfortunately from the wrong ship, but it's a lovely piece of kit.
That's more like it. Thank you very much. My honour can rest.
So, make your roll.
Okay, so computers roll.
Difficulty 2.
I've got 4 advantage and 2 failure.
They're everywhere. They're in the walls.
Okay, so you successfully determine that there are no Jawas currently in the Sandcrawler.
Excellent. That was bothering me.
So that's where we got the ship, this panel from, a sandcrawler.
But we're out of lemon-scented wet wipes.
No, that's the advantage. We've got loads of them.
Some would say too many.
And also the ship has way too much cargo. Is way too full, and that means that the Sandcrawler will tip over.
And certainly not take off.
Okay. I'm not really sure what counts as an advantage in all of this, but...
You can use advantage to access another system. What I'll let you do is you can get other information, but you can't get the information that you want.
Okay. I mean, I was going to go with general status of the ship. How recently the doors were opened.
Right, so you notice that there are multiple security alerts on... Now that you actually find the actual map that's been added, uploaded onto the system, past the first menu, which is all old stuff that they couldn't remove for whatever reason because it's old kit, you notice that all of the doors have been opened. And they were opened from inside.
Even the toilet door?
Yes.
Aha.
Okay, I am now on the lookout for a Chadravan.
And we're down to Roy.
Okay, so Roy, thinking he will be very smart and either draw people's fire or draw out the bad guys, you notice, or you might not notice, who knows? Roll to notice! You may see 2 rather blooded Imperial helmets go through the door, having a mild conversation about it.
Gee, sure is hot today. Oh, it is. Wow. Hey, I see we've got some company. Hey, human friends, you should probably come out to help us, don't you think? Yes, I think so too.
In a strange puppet charade.
So when you say you're poking them round the side of the door, are you kind of staying out of sight and just poking your fist kind of one higher and one lower? Or are you walking through the door with them on your hands pretending? Because when you say drawing fire... I mean, depending on how much is visible.
I'm pretty sure this is a deception roll.
Are you doing this behind Tychus?
Because that's the worry.
I think the only person who's actually got a line of sight on Roy at this point would be the Doc.
Are you behind Tychus whilst you're doing the puppeteering?
I am not even through the door.
Right.
So I've had sort of a quick glance around and stuffed the hands round, and then I'm not really paying much attention. I'm so aware that my plan is brilliant. I've just kind of poked my hands round the door.
So deception roll with difficulty of the Doc's perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could waste time that way, yes. Let's do that.
What's your perception, Doc?
I have 2 green.
Okay, I have 2 green versus your 2 purple. 1 failure.
Good.
You failed to convince me that you're really stormtroopers. Okay.
Yes.
I've got this grisly image of this all happening while the Doc's in front of the computer, and the Doc just turning around and saying...
We have the reason why the Doc failed his test.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello, friend human. Gee, it sure is fun to go home to our wives and children, isn't it?
And at that point, the Doc accidentally smashed a couple of buttons, which immediately set it to look for Jawas.
So, the Stormtrooper moves out of the pilot area because his friend's just been shot, and basically runs straight into Tychus and Carween.
Is he taking any actions?
He's trying to double move, so he's going to try and run past you guys. What's your athletics?
3 green.
What's your brawl?
1 yellow and 2 green.
I'll go for the brawl if you don't mind.
No.
He's not trying to hurt you, he's trying to get past you, if you see what I mean. So he's literally barreling past you as quickly as he can in the desperate hope that he doesn't get shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so he successfully dives under your arms and then mistimes his dive and slides head first down the ramp, right in front of Roy with the two heads in its hands. So he's gotten past you, but he's prone, and it's back to party.
I think it's got to be either Tychus or Roy. And looking at the look of glee on Mim's face, I think I'm going to defer to my robot pal.
Well, I've got two options. One is to shoot with my gun arms, like literally shoot through.
Ew.
Are your gun arms out then? Have you just mounted? Surely at least one of them's got to be a real hand.
No, they are real hands. But I imagine that if I mounted my gun arms...
Well, since that happens by your hands opening and popping out, like Ulysses' claw, what would that happen, I imagine, is that you would pop the helmets in half as these blood-covered rifle barrels pop out of your arms.
Or I could just use them as punching gloves and hit him with them, which is what I think I'm going to do. So there's going to be a slight shriek, or ah! And then he's going to bop him on the head.
Okay, make your brawl roll, please.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 2 yellows and a green. What am I up against?
Difficulty 2.
Okay, so I'm going to punch him with the severed heads and helmets of his comrades.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I'm not sure what that actually counts as.
It's a roller coaster, this roll.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's okay, that's not actually so good, actually. I got a triumph, but also 2 failures and an advantage, so that's 1 failure, a triumph without its success, and an advantage.
Can I suggest maybe you scare the bejesus out of him and he runs the hell away?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I do a high-pitched shriek and punch out. He looks up to see what's punching him, does a high-pitched shriek, and runs backwards.
So, roughly what happens is, he looks up, he sees one of his friend's heads rapidly walking towards him, then he looks round, he sees the other head. We'll do this as if it's an 80s Bowdy comedy, as 2 heads smack towards him. He's not lost consciousness, but he is not taking any action, if you see what I mean. He has effectively been intimidated to surrender.
Okay, Bar, if they surrender, we don't hit them anymore, right?
Just stop, please, stop.
But I didn't even do anything yet. Do I get to do it one time? Can I hit you once if you surrender? I don't even know anymore.
So the next action is Tychus, and Tychus, I think, will decide whether we stop or not.
Yeah.
He's behind you. If you shot him here, you'd be shooting him in the back.
Yeah.
That's your thing, though.
It is my thing.
Ooh, cutting.
Correct.
Tychus isn't going to shoot him at this point, because...
It's not nice to do.
It's not nice to do, and all the other times that Tychus has actively backshot someone, it's been someone who has actively tried to kill him. However, this stormtrooper has, from what I can see, executed a load of deactivated droids. Ed?
Yeah?
I think I would like to make a discipline test to decide which way Tychus is going to go on this one, because I genuinely think it's a knife edge, and it leans into my emotional weakness, I think, this one. Could you set me a difficulty?
I'm going to flip a dark side point.
Ooh.
That will be difficulty 1 purple and 1 red. I will allow you to roll a force die, however.
Okay. So, my discipline pool is 2 green versus 1 purple and 1 red. 1 success but 2 dark side points. With that success on my discipline roll, I think Tychus manages to rein in his anger to the point that he isn't just going to murder this person.
Possibly. Seeing your friend with 2 severed heads on his hands, you were starting to think that maybe this isn't the direction you would like to go.
Yeah. Are we the baddies?
I don't know. Let me ask my friend.
Are we the baddies? Yes, we are the baddies.
I think Tychus is going to walk over to him, put his head very, very close to the stormtrooper and go, "If you're the lad who shot all these droids that were harmless, I'll give you a head start, but you better start running quick, laddie." And then there is a thrum as Clementine starts to power up, and I think that's probably a coercion test. I'm not going to shoot him, but he doesn't know that necessarily.
You don't need a coercion test. He is so intimidated at this point that any suggestion you make would be an automatic success. There's no point in rolling. He runs if you let him.
I let him.
Okay, I'm just going to make a roll. Give me a second. I love stormtroopers because of the way that they are very specifically rubbish. Yep, he doesn't have the presence of mind to remember that he has a speeder bike.
Yay, free bike!
And runs past his own bikes. He has noticed the quad jumper, but he is running.
I imagine he's noticed the quad hopper, noticed that the quad hopper is where two of the bikes and his friends were, and that's why he's running in the other direction. Probably. It's like, nope.
Okay, you are in your ship.
Okay. The doc is going to shout to whoever else is in range, watch out, the charger fan is probably on the loose. That's all he can do at this point. But
Kay's going to start up the ship as quickly as we can. Is everybody in?
1 second, Kay. Just 1 second. And Tychus is going to bow his head for a second, then look at Roy and go, Roy, give me a hand getting these two speeder bikes in here.
Roy looks at his hands.
We're going to have a wee talk about this, Roy, because that... I applaud your innovation, but your material... maybe not.
Okay, he tosses the heads out the door.
But yeah, bring the speeder bikes on board. I imagine it'll take just a few seconds because they're pretty light and... Right, okay. Kay, we're all on. I'm closing up the back.
The doc is definitely putting a seatbelt on.
And as the even as the back is slowly being closed, the ship is taking off.
Okay, you successfully maneuver and fly out. As you bob up, you avoid going straight into, but you also notice two things. Firstly, there is an Imperial transport to your 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Secondly, there are two groups of ties to your 6. And as you fly across Cynabale being followed by Imperial troops, we'll leave it there.
This episode's patron is Craig. Craig is a really good friend of mine. He's absolutely fantastic. And to know that he hears the podcast and supports us is amazing. It's really cool. And thank you ever so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. You're awesome. Thanks, Craig. Love you.
Thank you everyone for listening. We shall see you next time. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.